Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Steve, and I know it's been a minute since I've done a video, but today I'm back and I'm going to be doing a review of the Garmin Vivofit fitness band, so stay tuned. So a lot of people might be wondering, why is it that I'm taking the time to do a review on a band that's older? Well, for me, I'm pretty new to the fitness band or fitness smart watch thing, and I'm a little leery of going out and spending a lot of money on items that may have too much stuff on it that I'll never use, or worse, spending a lot of money on an item that doesn't have enough. And so I saw this band, couldn't beat the price, and it does what I needed to do for right now, so I decided to pick it up and check it out. Um, so there's a couple of reasons in addition to this why I purchased it. One, the price. So when this band, and this is it right here, I'm doing a lot of talking, I haven't even bothered to show you the band, but this is the Garmin Vivofit fitness band. So when it first came out, it retailed for, I believe, $130. Right now, I believe a couple places have it for $79.99, but I found I got mine for $39.99, and I will drop a link in the description box below to let you know where you can go and pick one up if you're interested. So at that price point, $39.99, you can't really beat it, especially when fitness bands are upwards of or well over $100, and then you've got smartwatches with fitness tracking features on them that are, you know, $200, $300, $400. In addition to that, up until this point, whenever I did any workouts, I've been carrying my iPhone around with me, and there's a really good fitness app that I have on there called Argus, and Argus is very good at tracking steps, tracking running, tracking location. It's really good. However, the fact is I'm carrying a phone, and then on top of that I also got to carry I'm carrying keys because I'm not at home. I'm carrying my wallet. I'm wearing headphones because I'm listening to music. So, I mean, I don't want to carry a whole lot of stuff, especially when you're going to a walk or run. It's supposed to be pretty light. So I wanted to get this here to cut down on a lot of the things that I'm carrying. But like I said, the Argus app that's on the smartphone is very accurate. Very accurate. I mean, it tracks your steps. I didn't get a lot of false reads. It's very accurate as far as just measuring your steps. In addition to that, on the phone, I would have to have Bluetooth on in order for Argus to sync and track my data. And in addition to using music and having your phone on, having Bluetooth running while you're out, you know, working out, it's a drain on the phone's battery. So all of that was pulling on it as well. And then, like I said, I'm pretty new to the fitness tracker thing, so I just wanted to ease my way into it. So let's get into this app here. So I'm not doing an unboxing. If that's what you're looking for, there's plenty of other people that have done that. I'm not, you know, it's a fitness tracker. This is the box. Inside the box, you get a booklet with like your warranty information, but it's so ridiculously small, I'm not even going to waste time with it. You get a quick start manual, which really, this part right here is the only part that's in English, so that's really the only part that matters. You get two bands. You get one with the actual fitness band, the fitness tracker in it, and this is a large band, and then you also get a small band, a second smaller band. And I thought that that was a really nice look for Garmin, because, you know, a lot of people have different sizes. Sometimes you get something, you look at the watches that they're selling now, a lot of times they sell watches in two different sizes. So rather than just including an additional band, which doesn't cost that much to make, they make you spend $200 or $300 more to choose between a watch with a smaller band versus a watch with a larger band. And Garmin didn't go that route. They just included two in the box. Also, this comes in several different colors. I chose black. They also have purple, teal, blue, red. And then there's online, you can also look on different sites and order different colored bands. So this center module piece here just pops right out, and you can put it in different colored bands. So I saw a lot of those, some that I'm probably going to be checking out. In addition to that, it has a really simple interface, and I was going to try and shoot this video without having to take the band off, but I'm going to have to in order to show you the interface. So this is the face of it, and I don't know how well that's coming on with that glare there, but this is the face of it, and you can see right now it's showing the time. It's got one button here at the bottom where my finger is, and that button controls everything. So you've got like 6 different features on here. You've got time, the date, you've got the number of steps taken, number of steps remaining for your goal. What is that? I believe that is calories burned. Or no, it's not. Hold on. You've got time, date, number of steps remaining. Oh, distance. This here. Distance, calories burned, and then you're back to time. And everything is controlled here with this one button, like I said before. And it's also a multi-function button, because when you press and hold it, different things happen, and those different things vary based on how long you hold it down. So if I press and hold it now, first thing that pops up is the ability to sync. You can put it to sleep, or you can pair it. Now the Garmin Vivofit can be synced to the companion Garmin Connect app, which is right here, and it's synced via Bluetooth. And that's one of the great things about this. Even though this fitness band uses Bluetooth to sync, that's the only thing it needs it for. It doesn't run, you don't need any charging cords or charging cradles or anything like that. This runs on a couple of watch batteries that are rated at lasting upwards of a year. And so we're going to see how that works. But anyway, as far as syncing, it's a real simple process. You just go here, like this is the main page within the app. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit this down right here, and I'm going to long press this button on the fitness band until sync pops up. And at this point, if you can see that there at the bottom, it's syncing. It says Vivofit syncing. It'll take a few seconds to get the data, and then once it does, it'll give you a message there saying that the sync is complete. And now it's got the number of steps that I've taken thus far. You swipe to the next page. This app is really nice. I mean, the app shows you your number of steps on this screen, and the amount of sleep that you've gotten. And I guess I don't know, that's not really a good reading as far as my sleep, because one, I didn't there's a way you can set this fitness band for sleep. Like I was telling you, you long press this button here until sleep comes up, and that puts it in sleep mode. And then all you do is go to bed, and then once you get up, you long press it again to get it active. Well, last night I fell asleep without setting this, and I think I woke up somewhere between 3 and 4, and finally pressed sleep, and then I got up about 7 something. So it's saying that I got 3.5 hours of sleep, but actually I got more than that. It's showing the active calories burned, your activities right here, and then you've also got, you can connect this to MyFitnessPal if you use that. You can also show your community, the people that are in your that you're connected with. Here it shows your activities based on the last 7 days, and it's showing again the number of the hours that the number of hours that I slept last night, and then it gives over here an average. So it's saying that I average about 5 hours and 42 minutes of sleep a night, and I'm a little leery of how it's getting that information because I just bought this yesterday, so I haven't had it a week. Then you've got your information that you can access right here. It's sort of like a mailbox, but this is some of the information that's in there when you get the device or when you first log into the app. Down here at the bottom, you've got a couple of buttons that you can press. You've got the snapshot, which is what we just looked at, just swiping back and forth. It's a snapshot of your events. Next, you've got a leaderboard if you're in any groups or communities and you're participating in any challenges with anybody. Next, you've got your calendar, and this is kind of nice. I mean, it shows you what it's showing here in the blue. It's showing your activity, and then the purple is showing your sleep. So you're seeing what your activity and sleep is for a particular day. And so if I want to look at that, I just tap it, and it brings up my information here. So you see it's showing steps that I'm at 456, and then sleep, it's saying I got 3 hours and 25 minutes, and that's what we saw on the snapshot page. Next, you've got your news feed, and that's if you want to connect your social information, your social media information here, you can do that. And then here, this is your more page. This is where you can actually go to set up the device, to set up your activities and things like that. You've got your activities. You can look at your health stats, which includes your sleep, weight, calories, calories in and out. Next is your gear. As you replace shoes, bikes, your tracking items. I mean, you can put all of that information there. Insights. I haven't really used that too much, so I can't really say what it does. Connections is just that, people that you're linked up with in the Garmin ecosystem, groups, your Garmin devices. This is where you'll go to actually set your Vivofit up, and you can see right now mine is in there as the listed device, and it's ready to sync. Next, you've got your settings. Now this is where you'll go to set up your profile and privacy, your user settings. You can adjust your notifications. If you want to give any third-party apps access to this information, you can. Tells you the version and all of that, and then you can actually sign out of it. Now all of that is great, and I'd love to compare it to Argus, but you guys let me know if you'd like to see a comparison video between this and Argus. I can definitely do that, but right now that's really the information that you get when you pair it. And now the other great thing about this app too is that it's compatible both with iOS and with Android. So if you have either of those types of phones or devices, you can definitely download it. Now one thing that I did find, I downloaded this on my iPhone and on my iPad, and the only problem that I have is that you cannot be in both versions of the app at the same time. So what you would have to do is, like, if I'm in here, if I want to access it on my iPad, then what I need to do, real simple, I don't even have to close the app. I just shut my Bluetooth off on here, and then go on my iPad, alright, I go on my iPad and pull it up, and since I already synced it on my iPhone, it's showing the current information right here, right now. And it's got, the day, today's date, the last sync time, all of that information is on here. So like I said, I can switch back and forth between devices. And I plan on doing that because now when I'm going working out, I don't have to really carry my phone. Well, then again, I do. Because if I want to listen to music, I'm going to have to bring it, and then I always take my phone with me just in case of an emergency. So I do have to carry that with me. Yeah, well, anyway, moving right along. Now, one of the other features with this fitness band is that if you're inactive, say for an hour, on the left side here of the band, you'll start getting a red inactivity meter. So if you're inactive for an hour, it'll pop up and it'll be from the bottom of the screen all the way to the top of where the 8 is, and which is pretty long. So it's letting you know that you've been inactive for an hour. And every 15 minutes after that, it will continue to grow. So I think after about 2.5 hours, it'll be completely up and down the left side of the screen. The way you get up, or the way you deal with that, is just you get up and move around or exercise. It's just a sort of a motivation to get up and do something, be active. Now, one of the problems that I did have with that, and I noticed yesterday when I bought this and I set it up, of course, I walked around to test it, but a few minutes after doing that, I sat down and that bar popped up. And it continued to grow even though I walked around. I actually had to leave the house and go and take care of some things. And when I got back, it still hadn't disappeared. But a couple of hours later, I looked down at it and it was completely gone. Now, I don't know if that was a glitch or what. And furthermore, it's not really, even though it's a good motivation type of feature, it really doesn't serve its purpose fully because there's no alarm, there's no alert. Now, although that inactivity monitor is there, it's not really serving much of a purpose. I work a job where I'm at a desk the majority of the day, and a lot of times I'm busy doing work. So if there's no alarm, there's no audible sound to let me know what's going on, I might get caught up in work and forget all about this thing until I happen to take a break or something. So without that, I mean, I understand the intent, but it's kind of pointless not to have some type of sound. There is no sound that comes out of this device at all. So what did I dislike about this so far? I've had it, like I said, I just bought it yesterday. There's a couple things that I noticed, a couple things that I knew going in, and so I'm just going to go over some of those as far as likes and dislikes. First and foremost, your activity on this Vivofit is tracked by an accelerometer, which is absolutely horrible. Basically, this is basically a glorified pedometer. And I'm not saying that to put it down or whatever. It does what it does, and it does it pretty good. But when you're dealing with something that's supposed to be tracking you, and all it's using is an accelerometer, there's a lot of room for error. The reason why I say that is because you find accelerometers in devices like smartphones. Think about it. If you have a smartphone that has that raise to weight feature, that's happening because of the accelerometer. So what's the point? The point is, if this is tracking your movements by an accelerometer, it can mistakenly read this as you walking. You can, move your arm or whatever, and it can mistakenly read that as steps, and you can get inaccurate steps. Or one of the problems that I had last night, I noticed several times, just walking around the house. There were lots of times when I was walking around and it would not pick the steps up. However, if I did a slightly exaggerated, movement with my arm walking, then it seemed to pick that up fine. So you're going to run into problems like that. And, excuse me, I kind of knew that going in because I read a few reviews, but I still want to give it a try. Is it bad enough to say don't buy this product? No, but it is noticeable. If I'm walking and it doesn't record 5 steps in and of itself isn't bad. Now, if you're doing, a lot of working out, you're talking about running miles and miles and miles or walking several miles, then over time, yeah, that's going to add up. And I could see why a person would not buy it for that reason. However, if you're new to like this, the fitness tracker, or you're new to, you know, working out or whatnot, it might not be bad. It's not as bad as you hear on a lot of the internet websites, and people that do reviews on it online, written reviews or whatnot. It's not as bad as a lot of them make it seem, but like I said, it is somewhat noticeable. You can see that, you know, if you're looking at it and you're walking, you can see that sometimes it records steps and sometimes it doesn't. Speaking of that inactivity monitor, I've been sitting here going back and forth with this video, doing a recording of it, and I don't know if you guys can see that really well, but there's the activity monitor or the inactivity monitor, the red bar that popped up there. So anyway, let me get back into some of my dislikes. I talked about the fact that this is your activity is tracked by an accelerometer, which is not good. The next thing is there is no backlighting on this device. I told you that it's one button to rule them all, and it has nothing to do with backlighting. So what you see right here is what you get. If you are in the car, if you're in your car and it's dark, you're not going to see anything. If you're in the movies and it's dark, you're not seeing anything. You're still going to need basically a flashlight or a cell phone with a flashlight on it in order to read this stuff in the dark. Another thing that I kind of dislike is that once you put this into sleep mode, it does not display the time. It just simply displays on the screen sleep. So in order for you to see the time, you're gonna have to use your smartphone or clocks or whatever else. It's just the way it is. Also, I don't like the fact that there are no alerts or vibration. You would think that in this day and age, with the technology that we have, there would be some type of notification or vibration, especially when you get this inactivity monitor going up and down the side of your screen. There's nothing. Even with the mobile apps, there's no devices or there's no notifications that are going to pop up and let you know that you've been inactive for a certain period of time. There is no GPS or altimeter with this, so if you're going working out, and that's one of the features that I did like about Arcus. Arcus has even though I have my phone, I turned Bluetooth on and location on, and when I was out running, it was charting, you know, the entire a map of the location of where I was, so I could look at it, I could share it, I could do whatever with it. With this device, there is none of that. What you see again is what you get. And then the last thing that I didn't like is that there is no ability to sync music. Now again, at $40, it is what you get what you pay for, and I can't complain too much about that. So all of that really goes back to the fact that when I run, when I work out, I'm still going to be carrying my phone and a set of earpods with me. Now, the last thing that's on here is, I won't really say it's a dislike, but it's an observation. On a lot of the websites, I read a lot of reviews where people were talking about this thing is easy to fall off your wrist, and a couple people lost theirs because it fell off their wrist and they never even noticed it. To be honest, I don't even know how that is possible, and I'll tell you why. Because one, and I'm showing you, this is the second band right here. I don't know how well this is coming out, but these are the pegs that are on the band that lock in place. And so the way they lock in place is you simply bring this in. It's just like wearing a watch. You take it and you press it down. Now when you're doing this on your wrist, you'll hear a slight click when it connects, but this is it. And now this is the smaller band. On the one that I'm actually wearing on my wrist, you can see right here this little piece that's like on an actual watch. And what I've decided to do is, like, okay, you can see this is the end of the band itself. This is where I clipped it. This is this piece here where it clips on. But what I've done is I've taken this other little piece that comes with it and I slide it right over that. I slide it right over the clip. So there's no way this is going to fall off my wrist. So I don't know if Garmin was making that little plastic cover piece when this device first came out, but they are now. So I don't think that's a fair criticism that people are doing of Garmin to say that these things fall off your wrist and are just easy to lose. Because like I said, I haven't had that issue. Excuse me. I've worn it continuously since I've taken it out of the box, all yesterday evening, all last night, and thus far today. I'm moving my hands and arms around now. It's not flying off. It has not flown off. It doesn't feel loose. It fits snug. So I don't have any issues with it there. So with that being said, what do I like about it? Well, first and foremost, the price. I did a lot of research as far as reading up on these things and watching a lot of YouTubers reviews on this as well as several others. Initially I was leaning towards because I'm all in the Apple ecosystem, I thought about getting the Apple Watch, but I don't like the way it looks. If I'm going to wear something, I want it to be appealing, visually appealing to look at, and the Apple Watch is square. I don't like the way it looks. Honestly, the best looking smart watches to me are the Samsung Gear and the Huawei. But with that being said, those are both Android smartwatches, and I would have limited functionality with them. And I'm not interested in doing that and going back and forth between the two. So those were off the table for me. I'm also strongly considering the Garmin Vivofit HR smartwatch. I've seen a couple of reviews on that, and that's up there, it's a couple $100. But like I said, for getting my first band, I didn't want to jump in and throw that much money down on something that, I wasn't really sure how much I'd use, or whether or not it would have all the features that I want, or would it have enough. And looking at the research on this Garmin Vivofit HR, I'm really sold on it. But before I jumped on it, I just want to check this out and see how it worked, and thus far I'm pretty happy with it. As far as the price goes, $40, you can't beat this. In fact, the store that I bought this from, I bought it from Best Buy. Best Buy sells this for $79.99. I went in, I did a price match, and so for $79.99 I bought 2 of these. Can't beat that. You also have one of the other things that I like is with this, as well as a lot of other fitness bands and devices, is that you have the ability to compete against fellow Garmin users. So you can see, if you add people to your community, they add you. You can see what each other's doing. You can challenge each other to steps. Who can get the most steps in a day? Who can cover the most miles with this particular band? That's about all you're going to get, steps and miles. You can track who's losing the most weight, or things like that. That's honestly, it's sort of a motivation factor. A lot of times people struggle with being able to exercise or to do things on their own. And a lot of times you have people, if you have somebody physically there to help you, to encourage you, it helps out. And this helps a lot. If you have that app, the Garmin mobile app, you can check out what your buddy's doing. If they're leading you in steps and you're at work, hey, okay, it may be time for me to take a break and get some steps in. Or if you're sitting around the house and your buddy's getting more steps in than you, then you can go and compete against them that way. And I like that. It's kind of it motivates you to stay active. Another thing that I like is the goal setting. It has auto goal, which self-adjusts every day based on the number of steps that you take. And out of the box, that goal was 7,500. So if I didn't make 7,500, it would auto adjust. It would lower it to something that it thinks that I would be able to handle. And then if I blew through it, then it would auto adjust it and make it higher giving me room to grow. So I kind of like that, and you can also go in and adjust that. With Argus, I had a set amount of steps that I push for every day, and so I was able to go into the Garmin Connect app and change that, and so that's what shows up. That's what my goals for the device is. So my goal is right around 6,000, and you can see if I can hold this right. It's backwards. 5514 is what I've got left because I've done 486 steps thus far. So you can go in and adjust that. You don't have to stick with what the app has set up for you, which I think was really good. All right, moving on to the next thing. I like the fact that this is an always-on device. It doesn't go off. So with a lot of fitness bands and smartwatches, they still have that raise to wake feature where you raise it up and the screen activates. This is always on. It doesn't cut off. Even when when you go to sleep and you set it for sleep, it doesn't cut off. I like that. And that goes into the next feature, which is a huge selling point, is battery life. With smartphones and tablets and smartwatches, there comes that inherent thing of being tethered to a cord. After a certain amount of hours, you gotta charge it. With this, you don't have that. This runs on two regular watch cell batteries that are rated at lasting for up to a year. And then at that time, you just pop the batteries out and put two new ones in. So that frees you up. You don't have to worry about charging cords or cradles. You don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to charge and how it's going to, whether or not you're leaving home with a full charge or not. It's good. You're good. Another thing that I like is that it has replaceable bands. I saw on Amazon a 13 pack, I believe it was, for about $13, and it has a 10 pack for about $13. It had a lot of different colors that you can just pop this out and fit it into. And I thought that was pretty nice. You know, you can match your attire for the day. Also, this is waterproof up to 50 meters, so you can swim in it, you can shower in it. There's no issues there. I already mentioned that there's no cords or cradles with this, and I love the fact that the mobile app is very interactive. There's a lot more information, you know, even though this is just a straightforward glorified pedometer, a lot more information is available on here on the Garmin Connect app. And that Garmin Connect app isn't just for the Vivofit, it's for the entire Garmin line. Matter of fact, once you log in and create your account, it lets you go through and search for the device that you have. So I thought that was really nice. So with all of this in mind, the likes and dislikes and features of this device, who is this device really for? Who is this fitness tracker really for? Well, it's for people that are new to fitness trackers. Not necessarily new to working out, but new to fitness trackers. If you're sort of like me in that you're aware of them, you've never had one, you're a little leery of plopping down all this money, especially in a day and age when you're looking at the recent thing that happened with Samsung a few months ago where they had to recall their phones. Especially after people shelled out all this money, they had to recall all of these phones because of the battery. Just things like that. You don't want to go and plop down a lot of money on something that's not going to work. I mean, you work hard for your money, and when you buy something, it should work. It should do whatever it is that you are purchasing it to do. So if you're new to fitness trackers and you're a little leery of, spending a lot of money, this is the device for you. And like I said, when it first came out, it retailed for about $130. There was a version that also comes with a heart rate monitor. I think that retailed for about $170. And right now, like I said, you can find this thing as low as $40. So yeah, it's great for people that are new to fitness trackers, and it's also great for people that are on a budget. It's also good for runners or walkers who just want a fitness band. They don't need, all of the extra bells and whistles. They just want something to track their steps. This is a good fit for you. It does what it's supposed to do. I mean, it tracks your steps, it tracks your distance, it tracks you can input your calories and things like that, and it tracks that. I mean, it does exactly what it needs to do. Also, if you are a parent and you want to encourage your kids to get up and do something other than PlayStation or Xbox, this might be a good motivation thing. I mean, they can, challenge their friends and to be more active. Like I was saying before, a lot of the features that are on the Garmin Connect app lets you see what people in your communities are doing. So if you notice that, Billy Bob has 500 more steps than you, or they have a greater distance, covered than you, then that should be motivation to get up and do something. So parents, you can use this to motivate your kids. You can use it to motivate yourselves. Yeah, it's a great device. Would I buy it again? Yeah. Even though, like I said, one of the things that I don't like is the fact that it doesn't always accurately record every single step, but it does the majority of it, and missing a few steps here and there is not really going to make or break the bank for me. So yeah, it's a good device. I definitely recommend it. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave that down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. If you have one, let me know what your experience has been with it. And remember to hit that share and subscribe and tell your friends about it. And I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.